Hello, friends. It's Danielle from parentingandpapercrafts.com, a blog where motherhood and card making intersect. Thank you for joining me today, and I welcome you to my channel. So, today's project is part of a hop. I'm part of the Team Tiny Facebook group where crafters like myself are aspiring to grow our YouTube channel. And so we have less than 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. I should say each member has a YouTube channel with less than 1,000 subscribers. And like all other crafters, we share our crafty projects on YouTube, and we try to get views and work on growing our channel. And so one way to grow your YouTube channel is by hops, right? So the Team Tiny Facebook group, we're putting on a hop. And so for today's hop, we are paired with another member from the Team Tiny group. And we find a card we're inspired by from our Team Tiny member, and we case that card. So the team member I'm paired with is Sophia Hodgson. First, her YouTube channel will be listed in the description of this video, so be sure to give her a visit. Um, and again, as part of this hop, I'm going to be making a card inspired by one of her projects. So in this video, I'll share how I'm going to put the card together. Actually, it's underway if you're watching the video now. And just so everyone knows, there are elements of Sophia's card design that I'm using. So the core elements are, or that I'm casing, are the color scheme, the ink, the embossing powder, or excuse me, the embossing technique, the focal point, which is the heart and a banner sentiment, and the embellishments. So I pull all of those things from her card design that I was inspired by, and I apply it to mine. So if you aren't familiar with the term CASE, it's an acronym for Copy and Share Everything. And this video is a way for me to share everything that I pulled from her card. Early on in the video, I did share a copy, or excuse me, an image of her card, and I'll share it again towards the end. And then we'll just go from there. So my card design is pretty simple in design. And during the video, again, you'll see all the steps that I'm following. As I mentioned earlier, part of the hop is not only finding the card inspiration, but getting to know your fellow or our fellow Team Tiny member. So when I began looking through Sophia's YouTube channel, along with her IG and her blog, I learned a few things. So first of all, she's located in the UK, across the pond. It's been almost a year since she's earned her PhD. She's an immunologist, and she's an animal lover with two fur babies, which are cats. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe her cats are Bengals. Okay. So shifting our attention to the card and where I'm at in the video, you would have seen that I used Distress Oxide ink on the background stamp with full coverage to cover the card base. I am now using color cardstock where I'm going to stamp and emboss the heart image, and I'll eventually cut that out. Prior to that, I stamped the sentiment and heat embossed it using white embossing powder. And towards the end, I'm going to add dimensionals and foam tape to add dimension. And I'm going to adhere all the pieces onto the card base and add enamel dots to embellish the overall design. Again, the card is pretty simple in design. So what I'm going to do is just leave you and watch the rest of the techniques I use putting together the card, and then I'll come back and join you. All right, take a look. Thanks. as I begin to adhere the pieces of the card or the pieces to the card base, I wanted to jump back in because I'm getting ready to use my gel pen. Now, generally, when I heat emboss, I'm not the best at it, and I often blow the particles across the image or the sentiment. And in those cases, I generally pull out my gel pen and correct it. So that's what you see me doing there. I took my black gel pen, since it's a black card strip, and those white pieces of particles or white pieces of embossing powder that blew across the sentiment, I just dabbed it a little bit to correct that. Um, and it's very subtle, so you would really have to study the card to see to see that. So that's a quick tip or fix in the event you ever run into that. So now I'm finishing off the card using enamel dots. That was also an element that Sophia used in her card. It embellishes the overall design. And pretty much that is it. In summary, some of the core elements were the big heart, the black strip with the fishtail banner sentiment, white embossing powder. We both used a background stamp, background stamp as part of our overall design. She used it in a card layer. I used it on my card base. Uh, I just showed you an image of her card, which was my inspiration. Here's a copy of my card. And there you go. Big hearts deserve big hugs. So thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate the visit. Be sure to look in the description of this video for Sophia's YouTube channel, along with the link to my blog post that shows all of the details. Thanks again for watching. See you next time. Bye.